I'm so hyped right now, y'all. I'm editing this video and this message is going to change your life forever. I'm not even kidding. It's going to be a pillar for you. I want you to go back to it whenever you forget. Whenever you forget, I want you to use this video. I want you to save this video as a reminder, because it is going to change your life. I will even use this video to remind myself, because the message that Spirit has in here, the message that Spirit has shown me through this week, I had to share with y'all. And I also have a tarot message at the end. It is going to change your life. So I'm so honored to be able to give you this message, and I know that it will do for you what it did for me. I love you to life. Let's get right into the video. Y'all, when I tell you Spirit brought the house down with this one. Hey y'all, it is the Goddess aka Divinity's Hottest Checking the FN, and I hope you are having a divine nice day. I am your favorite spiritual guide and teacher, here to help you understand who you are as a spiritual multidimensional being, so you can live your best life. Before we get into the video, you're gonna love this. Now, I know that I told you already that you're gonna love this, that it's gonna be exactly what you need to hear, but I have to tell you again. I have to tell you again to get cozy, to get your tissues. And I would highly recommend that after you watch this video that you play the song Used by You by 𝐻ULVEY, 𝐻ULVEY. I don't know why I feel the need to say that, but there's a reason. So definitely go ahead and do that if you feel called. I also ask that you like and comment, interact with this video, subscribe to this channel, get this message out, help the algorithm interact with it so that other people who need to hear this message can hear. We are going through a mass awakening at this time, and people need this message. And again, I am just grateful. I'm humbled. I'm honored to be used. So I love you to life. Let's get right into it. This message is for a specific group of people. You're on a spiritual journey and you are doing the work to become. And this message found you because your job is not to become, it's to be. And that was a reminder that Spirit gave me this week that I want to share with you. Now, I did pull some cards, and so I'm going to share a message that Spirit has for you. So if you do come across this video, definitely make sure you stay to the end, because there is a message here for you. I'm not a stranger to hard work, right? I know what it means to work my way up the corporate ladder and to put in hours and hours and hours to attain what I thought was my dream, only to realize that it never really was my dream. It was a dream that was sold to me by someone else. And so on my spiritual journey, I knew that God had called me to be a spiritual guide and teacher, to be an intuitive and use my gifts to help raise the consciousness of the earth. And one thing that was made clear to me that I have to be reminded of in my journey is that this journey is not about doing. Yes, I'm here to share information with you. Yes, I'm here to enlighten you. Yes, I'm here to inspire you. Yes, I'm here to call you to a higher standard of being your truest self, right? But the best way that I could do that is by being, because in being my true self, that is enough. And I want you to know that as you walk your spiritual path and your spiritual journey, it's not about becoming someone else. It's about being who you already are. I had to sit down and ask myself yesterday, what image do I have of what a spiritual guide and teacher is supposed to look like? And I realized that some of the attributes of what I had as far as an image of that person, of that character, was not in alignment with my true self. So I had to ask myself, where did I get that image from? And while some of the attributes were innate to who I am, others of them were not. And in that moment, I had to make a decision to drop all the other attributes that I thought defined what a spiritual guide and teacher was supposed to look like or act like, right? Because that was taught. And this is how the ego, this is how society, their opinions, right? Their expectations, their images can creep into your own belief system, and you think it's yours. And the whole time it's not. It's not yours. And this is what it means to be aware, because we have to come into understanding what is actually reflective of our true self and what's not. And so Spirit had to remind me that my journey, your journey, is not about becoming. It's not about becoming. It's about getting in alignment with yourself. See, when you're born, you are already who you're supposed to be. You already come into this world unscathed. But because you've been indoctrinated in a fear-based society, you take on these belief systems that are not yours, from family, from society, from friends, from school, from work. You take on all these beliefs and all these energies that are not who you are. And so your spiritual journey, your spiritual path is not about becoming something. It's about peeling back the layers of what you are not. Shedding the energies and the beliefs and the behaviors and the patterns of all the things that you are not, only to realize that you have always been who you desire to be, because who you desire to be is embedded in the nature of who you are. And so Spirit had to remind me that while part of my work is putting these videos out and being an inspiration, most of my work is in the being. It's in being my true self, because being my true self is enough. Being your true self is the work for you, because when you are your true self, not only are people attracted to that authenticity, right? But that is what encourages and inspires others to do the same. You got to realize that we've been taught all these things of what a spiritual guiding teacher is supposed to look like, of what a business owner is supposed to look like, of what a millionaire is supposed to look like. And on a spiritual journey, it is about deconstructing all the images and the patterns and the beliefs and the behaviors, because who said that it had to look like that? It most certainly wasn't you. And so I'm saying this to say, whoever God has called you to be, right? Whatever your soul came here to be, know that who you are is enough, that you don't have to become someone that you're not. Because who taught you that you had to become something that you're not in order to be what you feel your soul has called you to be? That doesn't even make sense. You already are the blueprint. You are the blueprint. You don't have to become or be something that you are not in order to feel like you can fulfill that role. You are simply letting go of all the things that do not reflect your natural and true self, because who you are, your true self, is enough. Now, your ego may tell you otherwise because it has been conditioned, because it has been indoctrinated, and that is okay. But you also have to know that the ego is not who you are. And so the work is in the being. It's in the being, because who you are, as you are, is enough. And that is one of the biggest things that you will learn on your spiritual journey. You have always been who you desire to be, always. But you were chasing after something. And the thing that you were chasing was something that was created by the world and not by yourself. Who you think you should be, this image that you have of your higher self and what that looks like, is that truly yours? So I implore you, I want you to actually take the time to get specific. When God places something on your heart, you know how you're being called to serve. But when you figure out, when you go within yourself, when you sit in that solitude and you sit with God, and God shows you who you came here to be, which is who you naturally are, I want you to pay very close attention to the image of that self, that highest self that you have in your mind, to make sure that it is not influenced by anything else, by society standards. And I'm saying this because sometimes we think our higher self looks like something, and it's not really a reflection of our highest self. It's a reflection of who we think we should be based off of society standards and belief system, right? And this is all about coming into your own. This is all about owning who you are. This is all about stepping into your authenticity and being your true self, because who you are is enough. So make sure that when God gives you the plan and God shows you, right, who you came here to be, what you came here to do, that you stay in alignment with your highest self, with your true self, and make sure that that highest self is not influenced by any outside factors, because your work is in the being, not in the doing. The knowing that you are enough just as you are, and that your value is not dependent upon your output. It's not dependent upon the money that you have. It's not dependent upon the situation that you're in. It's not dependent upon who you impact or who you serve or who you inspire. You, to yourself, to your core, not the ego, not the outer self, but true self, your highest self, your soul expression is enough. And some of you have, thank you, Spirit, some of you have fear. You fear that you have to become someone else because who you already are is not enough. And that is the illusion that you got to break through. And this idea that tells you that you have to become someone else in order to be worthy of something else, of the life that you want, is an illusion. It's an illusion. You deserve to have everything that you want just as you are. Now, I'm not talking about the version of you that has the bad habits, because your highest self doesn't have bad habits. Your highest self knows who it is, and it walks in that power. It walks in that truth. So your job then is to strip everything away and to know that who you are to your core is enough. And the even better part is when you strip and release and remove everything that does not reflect who you naturally are, the universe will support you. You will attract opportunities. You will attract people. You will attract money. You will attract resources to you, because the universe was meant to work in tandem with your true self, because your true self is enough. That's what we call being in flow. When we've surrendered to outcomes, when we trust in the flow of the universe, when we trust in the universe to bring us everything that we need as we need it, right? And we just allow ourselves to be. And that's why being present is so important. I don't know any other way to explain this. It's the being that's important. It's the being here now that's important. Not living in the past, not living in the future, not trying to do something and do something and do something, but in being. So even when you are taking the action steps to get you closer to your goal because it's already yours, make sure that anything that you do, you are immersing yourself in being fully present in that, because that is the most important part. It allows you to fully experience life and to fully show up as all of yourself, because the power as a creator is in the being. It's in the being and the being present, the being here right now. So you are enough just as you are. You have always been enough. You don't have to conform into who you think God is calling you to be, because God is calling you to be yourself. You will naturally be drawn to the things that make you feel good. You will naturally be drawn to the things that you're meant to do. Your desires are indicators of where God is telling you to go. You just got to pay attention, and you just got to know that who you are as you are is the elixir. It is the solution, and who you are is enough. I know that we can, look outside of ourselves and compare ourselves to other people and their lane and their path, but their path is not yours. And you got to trust that God is a big enough God, that God knew what it was doing, but it brought you here and it created you to carry out a purpose, whatever that purpose is. And the only reason why you attract those opportunities and you attract those people and you attract the money and you attract all those things is because you're not operating from a place of lack. You're operating from a place of wholeness. So the universe is you. When I say the universe, is really just you giving yourself and showing yourself who you are. And so when you step into your power and you know that you as you are is enough, that is when you magnetize everything to you, because that solar plexus is powered up. Right? Our solar plexus is our third chakra that gives us the willpower, that gives us the confidence to carry out whatever purpose or mission God has placed on us, right? So when you know who you are and you realize that who you are as you are is enough, and you stop comparing yourself and you stop trying to become something that you're not, and you move from this place of power. You move from a place of power. You move from a place of wholeness. You move from a place of abundance. That is the energy that magnetizes everything to you. And so it's not about the doing. It's about the being who you are and knowing that who you are is enough, because who you are is made in the image of all that is good. So you lack nothing. And when you move into that place of knowing that you lack nothing, you attract everything, and you attract it with ease. Because that is how life is supposed to be. And that's what it means to be in flow with the universe. So your work is in the stripping away of all the limiting beliefs that tell you that you're not enough, that you're not whole, that you're not complete, because you are. You are whole, and you are enough, and you are complete. And as you come into that knowing, as you remember that about yourself, you'll magnetize everything to you. And you will only work a fourth as much as you did when you were trying to become something, right? When you were trying to be someone that you weren't, because you are operating from a place of lack, instead of realizing that who you desire to be is who you already are. And that is the biggest paradox and the biggest gag of all. When you know who you are, okay, and then you know that who you are is enough, and you walk in that knowing, okay, now you're not lacking anything. You're not looking for anything outside of you to tell you that you are enough, because you know that this is a lie, and it's an illusion, and it's a separation, and it's not real. You're not separate. And so when you walk in that knowing, when you operate in that state of being, you magnetize everything to you. And it's not because you were working harder. It was not in the doing. It was in the being. And that's what I want y'all to understand. That's why you don't have to work hard to get what you want. Yes, you will work, but most of the work will come from your being. Because who is to say, who defined what work means? Work doesn't always mean doing. It means being. It means being. So that is the message that I had for y'all today. I did want to share the message that Spirit has for you. So we're going to get right into it. This message is a treat, and definitely make sure you take what resonates and leave the rest. So the first card that we have is Wishing Upon a Star. The Spirit is saying to be intentional. Really think about who you are, who you want to be, what you desire to have, right? Really take the time to be intentional about what you want. Go within yourself. I want you to look at this card. Go within yourself, tune into your heart, and figure out not only what you want, but who you have came here to be. Who did you come here to be? This card is about moving with purpose, right? Once you Tune into your heart and you figure out who God has called you to be. And you know that now it's time to move with intention because you have it already in you. It's already in you. We can see the key. The key's right there. And it's about knowing that you are the key. It's kind of like you are the lock and the key, right? So you are the lock because you have all the power within you, but you are also the key. The key is knowing who you are, knowing that you have the power, okay? And being able to put that key in that lock, which is yourself, and to unlock all of your power and to walk in that knowing. Didn't I say earlier you are the elixir? Yeah, it's you. It's you. Then we got a burst of magic. This is like a burst of inspiration, right? And I feel like, let's feel into it really quick. I feel like this is either where you are, that you're asking yourself the questions of who am I? Or this is something that Spirit is calling you to do. Spirit is calling you to tune into your heart and figure out, who am I? What have I been called to do? How have I been called to serve? How have I been called to show up? And knowing that you are the key to unlock the power, that you don't need anything outside of you to unlock that it is all coming from you. You're giving it to yourself because you are the key, you are the elixir. And then we have a burst of magic. And once you move with that intention, right? I don't think this is something you've done. I feel like this is what Spirit is calling you to do. That's what it feels like. Spirit is calling you to do this. And once you move with that intention, you will get this burst of magic, which is this inspiration. You will be inspired to act. And that inspiration is coming from your higher self because now you have told it, you have informed it what you want. You have informed it of who you are, even though it already knows who you are. It's just waiting for you to get in alignment and come into terms with knowing who you are. And then we have Waking the Lion. Okay, you could be a Leo, you could have Leo energy in your chart, but operating as your highest self. Taking no prisoners. Like, there's a difference between a belief and a knowing. When you believe that you'll have something, there's loopholes in that. But when you know who you are, and that's why it's important to tune into your heart space, to tune into your soul, because your soul has all the answers. It already knows who you are and it's waiting for you to use your conscious mind to get in alignment with who you already are. And once you know that, baby, you have wakened the beast, and now it's go time. And go time doesn't always mean doing, even though you will be doing work. But it won't have to be hard work because most of your work will be from the being. It is coming from the being. Look at the power in the lion. And it's not doing anything. It's simply just being. I know that's right. I want y'all to really look at this picture. The lion is not doing anything. It's simply just being. But that is where the power is. That is where the strength is. Because it knows who it is. So it doesn't have to do. All it has to do is be. It doesn't have to do anything. This lion is in its power. This lion is you. You will come to a place where you don't have to work as hard, where you don't have to do as much because your power is coming from the being, not the doing. I know that's right, Spirit. I'm getting hot. The crowning energy for these cards is shining through. And so when you operate in that power of being who you came here to be, when you stand strong in that, when you know who you are, nobody can tell you anything less. And that is when you don't need anybody to show you who you are, to tell you who you are, to believe in you. That is when your light shines through. And that, roots of abundance, that is when you attract everything. And like a tree, I just heard, like a tree planted by a river of water, you shall not be moved. You cannot be moved. When you know who you are and you operate in that knowing. When you know who you are and be who you know that you already are. I remember one day Spirit came to me because something just was not clicking for me, Stephen. Amen. And Spirit said, know who you are and then be who you are. I asked Spirit, what is the difference between a belief and a knowing? And Spirit told me a belief can be changed, but when you know something, it just is. So when you know who you are, nobody can come into your space and make you believe that you're something that you know that you're not. Nobody can come into your space and make you believe that you're something that you know that you're not, because you're operating in your being. And that is where the power lies, in your being. We have a fresh start here. You're stepping into this. This is not something that you're doing or have done. This is what you're stepping into. You're stepping into the being. God bless you. I'm so excited for you. And then we got a double whammy. In your bag. You're in your bag. And it was above Waking the Lion. Let's go back to this fresh start here. So this fresh start was above Wishing Upon a Star, which also just tells me again that you are in the beginning phases of tuning into your heart, of tuning into God, of tuning into your soul, listening to the language of your soul and where it's calling you to go and how it's calling you to show up and who it's calling you to be. You're in the beginning stages. But what is coming for you in your bag. Because when you're operating in that being, when you're operating in that knowing, when you're showing up as your most authentic self and you know that who you are, your most authentic self is enough, you attract everything. Abundance is yours. You attract all of it effortlessly. They say money doesn't grow on trees. Why is the money growing on trees then? Right? People are going to look at you and look at your life and say, well, how are they having this happen to them? And how is that happening to them? Because I know who I am, babe. And nobody can come into my life and make me think that I'm somebody that I know that I'm not. And so because I walk in my power, I attract all the things that I need to me because I know who I am. That's why. I was about to say, get a clue. Get a clue. Another crowning card we have is courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And I feel like the fear that you're facing is this feeling of not enoughness, but you are whole and complete and you are enough just as you are. You are enough just as you are. And I'm thinking about the strength card in the tarot deck. If you already have the courage, you just have to let go of everything that is blocking you from seeing that within yourself. And then we have regrets. I know that I cannot change the past. I feel the need to say that you think, right, that your past defines who you are, that your experiences, that what you've gone through defines who you are. And so you've gotten to this place where you feel like I'm not enough. I can't be enough because this happened to me and that person did this to me. And that has nothing to do with you. Your past is simply just an experience and you can either grow from it, right? And learn from it and know that it's not who you are and not identify with you, or you can continue to sulk and let it control you. But this card says, I know that I cannot change the past. So come to terms, come to peace. Spirit is asking you to come to peace with the past and know that the past does not define who you are. It does not define who you are. It is simply an experience that you had on your journey. And this journey, this human experience is about learning. It's about lessons. It's about experience. And it is okay. And it does not define who you are. And even with all that has happened to you, you are still enough, just as you are. You are still enough. And then we have individuality. What did I just say? You are enough, just as you are. You came here to be the expression of your soul. And who you are is enough. She's so different. She's standing out from the crowd. She's so vibrant, but she is being herself because she knows that who she is enough. And that's where her power comes from. You see how she shines. You see these sparkles around her. They wouldn't exist if she was trying to be someone that she wasn't. They exist because she's being herself. I could cry right now. I'm so overjoyed for you. I want to cry so bad. I'm going to try not to. Oh, because I know where you are. I know where you are. I know where you are, but I also know where you're going. And I'm so excited for you. And you will get to a place where you know that you are enough. I'm so excited for you. We have acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And this also speaks to that regret card that we had earlier, which is I know that I cannot change the past.
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off. Take me off. Cut the show.
I know you will get to a place eventually where you realize, like, damn, I was the one in my way. I was the one holding on to illusions. I was always enough. I was always worthy. And now that I finally see that, I realize just how much I was holding myself back because I was holding on to things that never defined who I was. They helped to make me, but they never defined me. Ooh, that was good. The things that I went through, the things that I experienced, they help to make me who I am, but they do not define who I am. Spirit is so intentional. Come on now. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change because I know that they make me who I am, but they don't define who I am. Wow. That was good. That was good. Oh, and the theme here for this entire reading is boss up, because you have it in you. And once you get to that place where you know who you are, boss up. Step fully into your role. Step fully into your power. Whatever that role is, step fully. Embrace it fully. Be fully. And your life will change. God, we thank you. God, we thank you for depositing gifts in us. We thank you for depositing purpose in us. We thank you for depositing vision in us. We thank you for depositing direction in us, God. Thank you for showing us, for teaching us, for reminding us that we are already who we desire to be, that we are already enough just as we are. And I ask that anybody who is watching this video, who's made it this far, that you put a layer of protection around their mind, that you put a layer of protection around their heart. Don't let any negative thoughts steer them off their path, God. In the name of everything that is well and good, cover them, protect them, keep them. Ashe. And so it is. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. You are already who you desire to be. Your work is in the being, not in the doing. You are enough as you already are. You don't have to become someone to be worthy. You are worthy as you are. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy because God said. Oh, I got to go. I got to go. I might cry off the camera. I don't know. I love you to life. I love you. 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 God loves you more. I am wishing you the absolute best on your healing journeys. If you are new to the tribe and you are feeling the vibe, do not hesitate to hit that subscribe button. If you feel called to work with me, I offer spiritual counseling. You can click the link in the description for more information. But regardless, I am here for you. I support you. I honor you. And I pray and I know that you will get to a place where you honor yourself and you honor your path and you honor your journey and you honor who God has called you to be, because you are enough as you already are. I love you. This is the Goddess sending the F out, and I will talk to you soon.